What's going on? How we doing? How we doing? What's up, Kevin? You working tonight, brother? All right. Got a few people in. There's 41 people. How we doing? Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Raj Deep in the house. DB in the house. Come on with it now. There's Lala, Sergio, Justin, Kevin. Kevin's a second shifter. Kevin, I worked that hoot owl shift for a long time, man. I worked graveyard shift, they call it. Underground in the coal mines. I think I had 12 years underground. And about 11 and a half of that was on the graveyard shift. 10 at night to 8 in the morning. Long. J Rock, Christopher Walker, Gene Money Tree, Ace Minion. There's Shelly in the house. Jay Moore, Flying Fish, Joseph G. Marie, Late Night Recap. Yeah, I got. Yeah, it's a dangerous job, Kevin, for sure. I lost a few friends in there. I seen some pretty bad accidents in there. I don't miss it. Neither does my back or knees. Christian Torres. How do you open a ticket? Somebody asked in the Discord. Somebody help my friend here. How do you guys open a ticket? I think if you if you just go to one of the chats and type that in, that bot will come up and tell you how to open a ticket up. Jay Moore, that was Jay Moore asking. Hey, Terry Williams, Enrique, that's what it's like trading from Australia market open. Oh, at 11:30 p.m. Oh gosh. That's insane. That's insane. Phew. I always was a little bit of a night owl. I guess that's why I'm a musician. Paulita B had a bad day trading. Okay. I want to go over the day on the SPY. And, I had a decent day. The morning was, I got shook out a little bit this morning. I didn't have a great day. I didn't have a great morning. Go to ticket and just reply what you want. Okay, thanks, Ace. So Polita B, we're going to review the SPY here, and I want to show you which chart am I on? Here we go. So I want to show you kind of how I go throughout the day. I feel you, Justin. This is man, anytime you got a holiday week, it's always a little wonky. So it starts here on Tuesday. 584.40 is the low this week. And for the most part, we have ranged up to 592. We had that one big blow up. That's Nvidia. That's all it is. The SPY pumped with it. came back down, gave it all right back up. We went back and we touched yesterday's lows. That's all we did. We touched yesterday's lows. So, it has been a 2594 calls expired today. Okay, I feel you, Alex. Okay, Jay. Well, Jay, there are times when things are flowing better, that day trading can be somewhat easier. I'll tell you what I did a few times today is I hopped over to after the coaching sessions I hopped over on Apple. I've built my watch list over here. Anything on your watch list on Webull, you can right click and color code. So if I want to make some things blue, make mustard blue or MSTR, so I can color code them. So I got the Qs, the Qs, the SPY, and I think that's the Mag 7 up here. So I can switch back and forth pretty easy. And I noticed, Apple was given a little more to the downside in a few areas. I hopped over on it and did a little trading. Kept waiting. I kept waiting for let's see here, Tesla. At this time, let's see here, we can do these. Just wanted to look at something, so we compare and put these two side by side. Here we go. Now, why is this one not got my MACD? Here was Tesla. I'm going to get rid of these drawings for a second. You'll notice up through what time was this? 11:55. 11:55. It hadn't quite come down and broke its lows of the day. You notice that? Right there. At this time, at the same time, SPY came down and snapped through its lows. And Tesla and, if I'm not mistaken, Nvidia held for longer before they started fading off. So it was a little, things were out of sync a little bit. What's up, Jersey? What do you think about the Colin? I told you to have a call that expired tomorrow. What do you think about the chances on that? Thank you. Colin, I said before I got off the live, if it broke under whatever the level was at that time, 589 or something like that, that I would cut it. I actually took 13% profit on it because it couldn't climb, it couldn't make new highs. So if you followed a stop loss, like I said before I got off the live, you would be out of it with a small loss, or you could have took 10 to 14% profits on it. As far, well, I'll look at tomorrow for you. Like if you're still holding that, I'll look for you. Give me just a minute. But you shouldn't be holding it. Like if I'm just telling you straight up, you shouldn't still be holding it. After it broke lows, you shouldn't be holding that anymore. I'm in KG 192 call for June 6th. I was up, but during work I didn't get to J. I feel you, KT. It doesn't look horrible. We'll go over it. I just noticed. I noticed it took Nvidia and Tesla a little longer to fade out today. I'm not sure. I mean, they were just acting a little bit stronger. Now, why does it doesn't want to load my MACD over here? Odd, but okay. Okay. So let's go look at the SPY for the day. I'm going to show you how I go through this. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. You took it at 586. If you took it at 586, you're up, brother. If you took it off these lows here, I mean, you probably should have sold at 590, brother. That's a 4-point move. If you caught that, that was a great catch. And really all we did was come back and test the previous day lows. If you go back here and look, guys, and this is why I mark when I start charting and marking, this is why I mark previous day high, previous day low. So yesterday's high was back here, right? Give or take. There we go. Right here, 592.70, something like that. So if you want to check that immediately, and I got to say I missed that this morning myself. We opened up at yesterday's high and we couldn't hold it. We immediately couldn't hold it. What's the first thing we did, guys? What's the first thing we did today? We broke what? Right? Pre-market low. First thing we did. We had a couple decent little wins early in the morning, breaking these lows. It came up, retested it once, and then flushed down. Some people caught 40 or 50% this morning. I didn't get that much. Okay, Kevin, I usually just do the day, the actual normal hours. What was the high and the low of the normal trading hours is what I mark. Sometimes if after hours had some kind of big pop, I would pay attention to it. So yeah, let's start the day, and I'm gonna go with no EMAs or no VWAP or nothing. And we got a quick win this morning, somewhere down through here. I can't remember. Couple wins. I think I got shook out once or twice. Is there a chance, Richardson? Yeah, there's a chance. We got to hold support. Let's go to let's go get our structure drawn right fast. Okay, so pre-market lows are about right there. Go back to 4 a.m. Gonna make this a quick one tonight, but I just wanted to show you guys like what I'm doing throughout the day if I'm trading on throughout the day. There's pre-market high, there's pre-market low. Here's yesterday's high. Now you can actually adjust that up to the body. There's what I would do. Okay, so we flush down and we get a bounce, right? 1, 2, 3. Here's our third candle. So this third candle gets a purple line signifying morning market structure. I'll say it one time. Said it a bunch this morning. Morning market structure is the first 3 5-minute candles, the high and the low point. Okay. I had this little bonus line drawn before market even opened this morning. I gave it to you guys. And that's exactly where morning market ended up opening it. Now, morning market is purple. I'll make this one yesterday's high. Make it broken dotted white. Okay, just got to stand out a little bit. All right, immediately we come down and we get one candle under morning market. There's a quick scalp there. This does run back and it back tests pre-market lows. It back tested it. That should have been an entry right there to come on down. Okay. Now, as the day goes, we get this run down and we stop right here, right? I mark these stops so I know where the previous low was, and I'll usually mark the bodies, like this red body and this green body. You see how they're together? Okay, that becomes my low of the day at that time. This is all you see. This becomes low of the day, okay? And it bounces off of 588.50. What does it go back and back test? See my purple line? Nobody can tell me morning market structure doesn't work. It back tests it once and again right there. My pencil don't want to work. Right here. See that? There we go. Look at that drawing skill I got. So there's one test, two tests right here of morning market structure. Now, you could take a short right here. You could go into puts right here off the bottom of morning market. Would have paid 2 times right here. Now, look what happens when we make, if I don't feel comfortable taking this is resistance though, because morning market structure was our support. When it gets broke again, it's resistance. It's resistance. It's resistance. Now, look what happens when we make a new low. When we begin to make a new low, that's the play. That's your breakout play right there. Look at that candle. That pays for the whole day. It's one candle. 588.80. 586.90. It goes all the way to 586.50. But that's 2 whole points on one candle, right? 2 whole points. That one candle pays your whole day. You don't need to play nothing else. You don't need to play anything else. The rest of this entire day is a bunch of chop. It's a bunch of chop, and it's going to take your money every time. Okay? You can get in here playing and catch a few moves here and there, but there's no consistency to this. There's no rhyme or there's no reason. The next low became what? Yesterday's low. We did get a fake out. If you was lucky enough to catch this red one and half of this green candle, it started getting eat up. You got to get out at that point. But this is yesterday's low, and it didn't open or close a candle underneath it. Kevin, that is also a double top. Yep. Mike T14. So what's the move if it broke above morning market low, like back into the structure? Is that what you're talking about? Back into the middle of the structure? Well, when I got off this morning, let's see here. We had the 9 in VWAP. And I gave calls down in here. Something like that. And I said we had to retake the 9, retake VWAP, and then retake morning market lows. And then at that time we would have had to move back above pre-market. You know, I play this one level at a time. And if it can hold that level, then it's got to hold the next level, the next level, the next level. And so on. So the first thing to me it has to reclaim is the 9 EMA. There was, this candle over here, this comes back up and interacts with VWAP a little bit. This is a little flush right here. This is a small move, 588.80. I gave this number earlier today. Breaking of 588.80, and it came all the way down to 5. That was a 1 point move, not a bad scalp move. The rest of this was junk. Shouldn't have been trading. Not unless you're really good, really fast. Like with 1 or 2 minute candles, you might could have caught a few moves. The rest of this is garbage price action. Ambrose, nice. I think I gave 588.80. I can't remember what time I gave it. But I did catch that candle too. When it finally flushed and broke, it didn't get no continuation though. We never came back down here to the lows to test it. So, really after this big flush, that should have been your day. Yeah, you could have hung around, but that was 2 o'clock. It's a long way to wait for just depends on what you're waiting for, what you got time for. The move, the big move happened overnight. They do this a lot. They do this a lot to us. Sometimes we get that trend day, like this day, back on Tuesday. Now that was a fire day. That was a trend day. This was a decent day. Not great though. This was a chop day. Look at the drops pre-market. Now this was a pretty good drop. This was a nice drop. Junk. The only time we get a play back here, look, you have to be patient. And when you break lows, here's the bodies. When you break low of day, right there's your move. That was a big move that day. Right here on this day, if you catch it early, you get it crossing VWAP And it has to confirm by doing what? Breaking lows of day at that point. Right there was the flush. So always mark your whenever you get that low set. Let's say you missed it. Let's say you missed the low, or you missed your first run down. This one right here. It bounces. When it comes back and passes through it on a second time, you'll hear Josh say this too. It's often much more violent of a run if it breaks it. But you got to wait. Look at these. Look at the time here. If you don't take a reject play off of pre-market low or off of morning market lows, then you're going to wait for your breakout play, which is to the downside. Okay. Here's the downside breakout play right here. But you have to wait on this 5, 10, 15, 20. So about a half hour, 20 to 25 minutes for this to produce. If you're not in the right mindset, they're going to wear you out. You're going to start buying this candle, that candle, this candle, that. Well, really, it never started. They never tried to break this until right here. When it started flushing, and I want to take my entry as it starts crossing this line, that was a violent candle down. And you also got a reject here off of the MACD. And we can go look at upper time frames on the MACD, but yeah, Superman. That's much often what I teach and what I like playing breakouts, but you can play breakouts in smaller time frames too. That's why I use a 5 minute a lot, even though I look at other bigger time frames. I use a 5 minute for entries, just because I feel like I can see highs and lows better. It's like I'm taking a week, looking at days past, but being able to condense it down into a small time frame and playing those small breakouts. So when I book the low of the day, when I break low of day, I'm going in. If I booked high of day somewheres, like if we break over morning market back here, we consolidate 5 candles and then start breaking over it. Well, I'm going up. I caught one little flat top right here, 594.70. And then my target would have been pre-market highs. This is a wide range this morning. 598 down to 592. So 6 points, a little over 6 points. What would be a break? What would a break be? A full candle above. Raj, I'm not sure about the cursor. Let's see here. It just comes stock on all mine. Let's go to chart settings. Crosshair data style. I guess you might have that off. I'm not sure what floating is. Oh, I would hate that. This is showing you data at the time was new. Floating fixed off. You might have yours off. Oh, I still got it on too. Chart settings. Oh, uncheck it. Duh. There we go. Now it's off. So if you got those roller balls popping up on all your EMAs, you can turn it off there. That does kind of get in my nerves sometimes. Yeah. Oh. That still follows the EMA. Hopefully that helps you, Raj. Yep, there you go, brother. Mike, what would a break be? A full candle above? You know, a break to me, Mike, you end up looking for a confirmation candle, right? I'm not a big believer in it because I'm a scalp trader. I do other investing and trading too, but when I'm day trading, I'm scalping. If I wait on this to open and close under morning market structure, at best I get this one red candle here, at best. But if I can catch the momentum as this candle crossed, when I do that, then my entry becomes my exit. If I can't hold it, I have to cut it, and I'll get back in the play. Take me a while to build my account up to the size that I can do that. Or you can assume the risk, but you also have to treat your entry very tight. This candle, I don't want to miss all that candle. So if I wait on that to confirm, I only get one more candle. The rest of I would have had to wait 2 hours to get the other flush. Whereas I could take rejections off of morning market here. Here's a trade, gives me, this is a nice little move down. 591 to 590. 1 point, that's all I need. Again here to the downside, because it's not going back above my line right here. Get one little fake out candle, not much though, on that green candle. So, I take it on the cross, Mike. That's what I do, brother. Sergio, thanks, man. I see you coming in here putting in the work day after day. Thank you. Tyrone, what's up? What's up, my friend? So, that's how I treat it, Mike. It's spent a lot of years working several jobs to get there, so to build my account up. But I did. I used to trade a really small account, and I did recently start another small account at $2,000, and I'm at 4,300 on it right now. That's about 2 months ago, because I want to get the feel of a small account with you guys too, because there's a lot of people that trade with a small account. So it can be done if you stay disciplined and quit taking big losses, quit taking 40% losses, quit doing that. You don't have to do that. Tomorrow's a new day. Monday's a new day. There's gonna be another trade. So you entered that play while the candles for me is crosses that threshold. That play while the candle is 4 minutes. Yes, Christopher. Jay, a lot of that depends on your account size, but I don't if I'm catching the right momentum and that candle just starts twinkling there on my line, 3-5% maybe, depending on the contract, I've caught myself lately buying right at the money, or maybe a strikeout seems to not be as violent on percentages. If you're getting cheap contracts, the percentage is going to be higher, but the dollar amount's lower. So I'm not taking big percentage losses. 5%, 8%. I got one of them got to 10 or 12 on me today, and I cut it. I mean, and on my size, if I'm in on my big main account, I run 5, 10, 15 contracts. You know, so I don't want to take big losses. Don't want to do it. I bang this in my head. My entry is my exit. My entry is my exit. If it can't hold my entry very well, that's why I'm saying all this stuff over here, man, this is crap trading. These first 2 hours, that's where the liquidity's at. You got one other move, this candle right here. That's the only other good move I saw. The first 5 minutes, the first 3 5-minute candles, UMA. DM Forever. It has a version of it, but it's not very good. It's under this second tool right here, fixed range volume profile. That's their tool. I'm not crazy about it. You can tweak it a little bit. I always run this to 100. You can make the row size a little better, so it's a little more accurate looking. If we go on a 30-minute and get just this week from that pump, you can see we're still, I'll show you on TradingView too, we're still holding our upper range here. So I got just a few minutes left, guys, and I'm gonna go. So when your exit is your entry, how do you know to get out so quick? Shane, it's just, if my lines are drawn good, when it approaches the line, and let's say there's 20-30 seconds left on a candle, and it's just now got to that line, I probably ain't buying that candle. If I'm hitting on that line and there's good momentum going down halfway to early in the candle, then there's a greater likelihood of it starting to break it. If it starts showing me it can start breaking it, I can enter and add to my position and add. If you're using Turbo Trader, you can add fast. That's one reason that I like it. Use it so much. A lot of it's catching the right momentum. There you go, Christopher. Man, it's 640 guys. Try to here, Raj. Matt, man, I'm not sure what you're asking. Stop losses ever trigger wash sales? Jay Moore, that's fixed range volume profile. It's just Weeble's version of it. It's on drawings though. It's not on indicators. Drawings, and it's the second toolbar, fixed range volume profile. I hit the settings, and I go value area 100, row size 30 on mine. You can change the colors of it some. It's not horrible. It's just not as customizable as TradingView. Let's see here. Okay, guys, I got just a few minutes here. Can I make my screen look like yours? Nope, candlestick, iPad. The iPad app is not the same as the desktop. Neither is the mobile. And the mobile and the iPad are two different. Weeble sucks on that, man. I wish they would make their iPad app close to the desktop. It's just, I don't know, it's just not possible, I guess. I would rather somebody be on a smaller laptop than on the iPad, because the iPad is missing so much. Okay, Mike, let me hit that question right fast for you. Once you broke morning market and took a put, when would you know to sell? That's a good question. That's valid. So at basically if you get in here about 591, maybe you're late, you get 590.80, and you catch this one whole candle, you've gotten down to 591 to 589. That's 2 whole points on an option. You're probably cooking between which option that you took 20 to 50% on this. That's plenty. When would you know to get out? Well, if you're taking profit, if you're starting to take profit at 10, 15, 20%, you should start locking in gains. Then if you're going into with 5 contracts, towards the end of this candle, I'm probably down to 1 or 2 contracts. And those are just become runners. And I'm not going to let this green candle make my runners red. I would let it retrace half this candle maybe, but I'm not going to let it retrace that entire candle if I got in up here. I'm not going to do it. So you should start locking in gains. I preach that a lot. If you're knocking 10 and 15 and 20% on most of your trades, things start adding up. Then you start adding position size, and then those gains become bigger. It's all about building consistency with it, though. I'm not looking to hold a 0-day contract from 10 a.m. to 12. I'm not going to hold it for 2 hours through all this stuff to get the whole move down. I'm not going to do it. I gladly hold for a few minutes here and then find me another trade, a little longer down the line. But I think once you hit a threshold of percentage, starting at 10, 12, 14%, you should start locking in gains. You got to start locking in gains. When you see this thing reverse, you've obviously hit a low, and the next time you can go short is when you start getting another candle to the body of it to start getting beneath the previous candle. I marked this low because this is where I got a green candle, a red candle, could not break this green candle. Another green candle. This green candle, this obviously booked a low. So I can wait now for these lows to be broke. You gotta wait, but you know what you're doing. Junior, You talking about the one Josh is doing with Ashley? Matt, man, I'm sorry. Yeah. Shane, you're welcome. Alex, thanks. Yeah, Superman. You gotta. Yeah, I think that's a whole different class with Ashley that he's doing. You're right, Rudy. Don't overstay your welcome. You guys see me, man. I was 10, and I trade a lot bigger size, but I could take 1 or 2 contracts and get out. And I always try to spearhead that to get people to take profits. 10, 12, 14, 18%. Sometimes you're banging 20, 25%. That's fine. That's fine. You quit worrying about 80% and 100%. Okay, guys. So hopefully mark your lows as the day prints your lows. Mark your highs as the day prints your highs. And you got to get back over those or under the lows before you start taking another trade. I was willing to get back long today to go into calls one time over VWAP, and we couldn't hold VWAP right there at the end of the day. We shot up, tapped the 200. That's why I run the 200. Tapped it, got rejected immediately. So, there's nothing bullish about this day. This was, I guess, people taking profit. Lots of things. Lots of uncertainty. People taking profit. You can call it what you want. We are still in a here we go. Okay, here is a 1 hour chart, and that's the whole swing, this swing low point all the way up to where we are. You can see the most volume traded in this whole move up is up here. This broken dot is the POC. So this shelf right here, we went and touched 573. Buyers stepped in. This whole shelf up here needs to hold for us to continue up, man. Next run down, next support down starts getting back towards 570, 560s. Down in this neighborhood, these 2 volume bars. So right now we're sitting up there on the POC. It didn't come below it today, barely, and regained it. So 591 resistance. Down here at pretty much 586, 586.40 support for right now. That's the highs from back here, lows from today, 586.40. Okay, we're still holding it up here, but we got to keep holding it. Bulls got to defend it. That's my 591 down to about 586.50, something like that. Okay. is buying a zero put at 590.60 at 10:05 and then selling 5 minutes later the best deal for the day. I think that's the one I said, right? $10.05. Pretty much, yep. That was right here. I think the flushing of lows was the best deal of the day. Right here at 11.55, Mr. Ramsey. This candle. I probably put a little more weight on that one. Me personally. It's just my opinion. But it, once you broke these lows right here, that was a heck of a flush, because most of this green candle was red and then it started getting eat up. If you're quick on the draw. Okay, my friends, that's about all I got for tonight. I'm killed. Yeah, I'm shutting it down too, Mike. Somebody asked about a chart earlier, but Meta. I'll try to look at Meta real fast. Man, this is all printed about identical, guys, since this swing low. The SPY, all the max, it's all printed the same. I think NVIDIA would look different, maybe. Yeah, it was a little different. The rest of them have almost charted identical. There's NVIDIA's range now. You can see right where it back tested today. Boom, right there. Meta, Raj Deep said, Meta, you shall get, my brother. Let me get back here. Where we at? This is upper tier. Whew, man. What a move, huh? What a move. 634, brother. And then 628. You don't want to lose 628 if you're in calls. Right there. There she be. You don't want to fall down in this, or you're going back to 600. Okay. All right, my friends. I'm going to wrap it. I got to get some rest and all that good fun stuff. Got you, Raj. Thank you, Brad. Thanks, Ronald. Shake it off, Jose. Thanks, Shane. Mike, I'll chart through the night sometimes and try about an hour in the morning. Thanks, Patience. Thank you, man. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Debbie. Hey, if you guys ain't subscribed to the YouTube, hit that subscribe button for me. Okay? I love you. I appreciate you. I'll be on with Mr. Josh in the morning. See if we can make a little bank. This day here was decent. Dion, the email for coaching services is in the description of the video, as is the link for the Discord. If you want to support me, you can let yours expire and resub under mine. That's what supports me. That is the biggie. Thank you so much for everybody that does. OT for you. Thank you so much. Rum shaker, baby. Justin, I got one, man, but it's dated. It's dated. It's on my channel. It's 3 hours and 50 minutes long, brother. It's easier for me to do it in coaching sessions for people. Last time I did it for 500 people, and it took 4 hours. So it's not very productive. It's easier for me to do it when people book me for coaching, and then I can set it up, guide you through it. You know how to work it and everything like that. All right, my friends, I got to roll. Love you. Peace.